So this is after the child trafficking incident on the Union Pacific Railroad and Platinum Cabaret. This is the day after. I'll tell you guys. Like I said, there's a lot to this, and we gotta do in segments. So the next day, I ended up taking the bloody mattresses down to Border Patrol, and tell Border Patrol that kids are, this is from murdered victims, and there's an international human trafficking operation out here next to the train tracks. And so Border Patrol says, we ain't gonna touch it, you need to call the cops. So called the cops, and they took me down, told them about the bodies scattered across the auto parts lot. And I probably didn't, I probably sounded like a crazy guy. And, I'm pretty sure I sound like a crazy guy, because anyone who tells you that there's bodies, bodies in the, bodies all over, and God showed me in visions, right? Sounds pretty crazy, doesn't it? So, tried giving them the child remains. I can't remember if they took it or not, but I told them that the mattress is from a murdered victim and murdered victims, and they ended up talking to the guys there. They looked around. They said, "Hey, you steal anything?" "No, I didn't steal nothing." He's like, "Hey, how'd you get in?" I said, "I jumped the fence." And he's like, "Did you write all those symbols on the ground?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I wrote all those symbols." And then did you etch in the, did you etch in the crosses on the cars? And I said, "Yep, I did." So they took me down to the jail, and God started showing me a whole bunch in jail. He started rewarding me in visions. Just started showing me how big this is going to get. He showed me a lot. He said that this is going to be huge. And you need to hear this. So while God is showing me what's coming, He's showing me judgments are coming, showing that we're going to be doing judgments. The Holy Spirit power is going to be used to bring judgments, and us as believers are going to be working in that. So what's here right now is a practice. Remember, it's a practice before judgments is released. The power of judgments is released. So it's here, guys. The 2 witnesses is here in training, and we're going to spread it. It's going to be spread. That's how God showed it to me. That's how I understand it. Anyways, God shows me that this is going to be big and huge, and in jail, He then says, "Tell everyone the truth. Tell everyone what you saw. Tell the world." So I said, "Okay." So I go in the court stand, and I talk to the first judge. Forgot what his name was. Stewart, I think. Judge Stewart. Justice of the Peace. And I tell him, I said, "Hey, there's an international human trafficking operation under Yuma, where they're trafficking kids out of their strip joint, and they're selling them. On the train line." The judge listens to me. He listens to me very quietly, and just, "What do you got to say?" And just listens to the T. Lets me say it all, and didn't interrupt. So I go back to my cell, and during that time, I ended up getting hold of a ex-gangbanger here in Yuma, and he said 5 years ago, so 5 years before 217, he said that he knew his friends that were part of this gang would watch girls at Platinum Cabaret. At Platinum Cabaret, where they would watch them to make sure that they're good girls. So this is what he said. This is exact words. If they're good girls, they get sold on the train line, and if they're bad girls, they go back in the hole. So the gangbangers would actually watch the girls there, that if make sure that they don't run away. So there are girls there being trafficked here in Yuma that we wouldn't even know. We think that they're just strippers, right? And the Marines, they come around and they're like, "Woo! I want to go to the champagne room, and I got $200, and they're going to put up because, they are being practiced on." You know what I mean? And they're involuntary because they were tortured. They were tortured in the torture lair on Arizona Avenue that God showed. So this ex-gangbanger validated everything that God was showing me in visions, right there on the spot. And I was just like, oh my God, this guy just connected all the dots that God was showing me. Because I was a little discombobulated, and he was connecting all the dots, and I'm going, oh, okay, well, I can't believe this. So I wrote it down in my logbook, and that was just more fire in my belly. And I'm like, man, this is just more validating. This is just crazy, man. This is more proof, right? More proof. And even while I was in jail, check this out. I asked God to test the visions, right? So there's a guy on the other side, and I asked God, I said, hey, how can we validate the visions? To see that I'm not, I can, that you're showing me things that are real. You know what I mean? It's not just in my head, something that's validated, something that can be measured, right? So God shows me, he says, okay. He shows me a tattoo of a skull on the guy's left arm. And if he's out there listening, he showed me his skull tattoo. And I'm over there yelling. I'm like, hey, do you have a skull tattoo on your left hand? And he's just like, yeah, how'd you know that? You didn't look in here. You came from the other way. There's no way you could look in here. How'd you know that? And I'm like, just visions, just trying them out, just crazy stuff. So it was more validation. It's just like, right? That's, you got to compile it. You have to keep testing it. That's me. You have to keep testing it, keep testing it. You got to be secure in this stuff, right? You got to be secure in it, and then you got to execute. The second time I saw the judge, I say it again. There's an international human trafficking operation under Yuma, and he shuts me up. He says, he's like, you need to get counsel, and he was just like overly angry that I was doing that, which is whatever. Anyways, so the third time I see him, now check this out, guys. Third time I see him, I'm in vision mode, right? So I'm like, okay, we'll see what the Holy Spirit's gonna do. So I'm looking out, and I'm like, see the rock come down, right? I see it as a rock, and people can see it too when I get in that mode, and that's what's crazy. So I see the rock come down, and it surrounded his head, and as it surrounded his head, it starts blinding him where he couldn't see outside the fog. This is there in open court, guys. So, and if there's a way to pull the videos, there's a way to pull the videos. You're gonna see that judge start freaking out. Anyways, he at first the fog comes over his head, it blinds him. He's looking at his paperwork, and he's just standing still, and he's just like, getting it closer, like looking at it closer. And then he's taking off his glasses, and he's just like cleaning them, trying to look at it. He puts his glasses back on. Then he starts hitting his desk because he can't see. And then he takes his chair, and he's just like look, it's towards me, but he's looking at it like this. He's like, doing that, like, eyes wide open, trying to see, couldn't see. And I stayed focused on him, and I'm seeing the, and it's the fog is surrounding him. It is literally surrounding him. Physically, okay, guys? Physically, it is physically surrounding him, surrounding his head where he couldn't see outside of it. So, and something in me says, because I was almost out of my seat, and I was like staring at him like a crazy guy. I was just like, oh my God, I can't believe this is happening. That was my reaction. I can't believe this is happening. And he then, something in me just says, look away, you're going to get in trouble. Because like I said, I was looking at him like a crazy guy. Look away at him, you're going to get in trouble. And so I'm like, okay, I'm going to look away. So I look away. And as I look away, the fog goes away. And I'm pretty sure that it was the third time I saw the guy. And then after that, I didn't see him after that. Anyways, I didn't realize what that was and what God was doing. And God wanted me to speak out again. And he was going to have a demonstration. There was going to be a demonstration of power. I probably would have gotten more trouble. U.S. citizen, property of the corporation, would have gotten more trouble. But that would have been okay. But I didn't realize that God wanted to show. He was going to shake up the courtroom. He was going to do that. He was going to come down as billows of smoke. He was going to light it up. Because once again, he wants those kids. Jesus, I'm telling you guys, there's a big burden on Jesus' heart about these kids. And it's so big that it's so big, and we're so unknown. We're so oblivious to this stuff that Jesus is just crying. There's rules set in place on which master you want to serve, but I'm telling you guys, Jesus, Yeshua, the Son of the Most High God, is crying his eyes out for his kids. He's crying. He's really hurt. And he's really hurt over this stuff, guys. So, and when you start reading the Old Testament, you look how God handled the nations, like rebellious Israel, for judgments for sacrificing kids to demons. And so that stuff hits home with God, man. I mean, that hurts him. So that happened in the courtroom. So after that, so we're going to stop it here. So we'll stop it here. That was more validation to me. Not only was the child trafficking operation validated through this ex-gangbanger whose friends actually watched the girls get practice on, bounce them, make sure that they don't run away, and he knew about the hole that they get tortured in. God showed me the hole. It was one of the holes on Sigler's. He showed me multiple holes, but one of those holes was on Sigler's, and one of those holes was at the baseball dugout that I was telling you guys about. And they go to this underground lair that Jesus is gonna tear it up, man. He's gonna tear it up. He's gonna bring it down, because there is a satanic altar under there that all this sacrifice happens, and God's going to bring that down physically. He's going to physically bring it down. He's going to do something physically. And after that, he showed that he's going to burn up Platinum Cabaret. So after these kids, I'm just assuming that when these kids get out and the altars of Satan here in Yuma get brought down, he's going to light up Platinum Cabaret. He's going to light it up. There's going to be fire coming from above, and he's going to light it up. And yeah. So if the Marines here in Yuma, if they're going to the strip joints, guys, and you guys are paying for lap dances and you're paying for sex and any of that stuff, just know that some of those girls that you come across might be trafficked girls, and they are there drugged up, brutally raped and hurt, kidnapped prior to that, and conditioned to put on a show for you, so they don't get beat up. That's the reality, guys. So, like I said, if you're a Marine here, I mean, you really have to, you have to look at your moral compass, and if you want to partake in that stuff. But that's what's really going on here in Yuma. So that's what God was unveiling to me, as far as the trafficking operation here in Yuma, and it's a satanic, very satanic child trafficking operation that kills children on a mass scale and sells them on the train line. And God's bringing judgment to them. And check this one out, guys. And God was showing me things out in the desert in the direction of a location of Felicity, California. And I just found this out, Felicity, California. God was showing me in the directions and kept hitting in the directions of Felicity. But after a while, I like I said, doubting Thomas, and I stopped going in vision mode, and I put everything down because I had to test everything. Everyone else was calling me crazy, so I had to keep testing everything. But God was showing me out there in Felicity, California. And then when you look at the structures, you have the pyramid out there. The pyramid is Satan's symbol. It's Satan's symbol. You look at the triangle, it's 666, 60 degrees, but real math, it's only 6. So you got 666 on each angle. So the pyramid is a reference to that. And like I said, God was showing me all this in visions that Satan's symbol is the pyramid. And that's where all this evil stuff is. And guess who owns, or who's mayor of Felicity, California? A Rothschild. I saw it on Wiki. I was looking up at Wiki, and he's a Rothschild, guys. Rothschilds are they are Nephilim descents. They are the bloodline of fallen angels. That's why they feel, they have that connection to the spirit world. They go in vision mode. They do curses. They do all this demonic witchcraft stuff, and they kill kids to fuel up their demonic power. And they got all these arts from the fallen angels. If you read in the book of Enoch on how the fallen angels gave all this technology, witchcraft to man to rebel against God, and they have those practices in those books. These bloodlines, these family bloodlines, are part of it because they actually have DNA from fallen angels. When fallen angels had sex with women, married women, and they bore Nephilim, which were giants. They bore giants. This is real stuff. This is real stuff, guys. This ain't hokey pokey stuff. This is real biblical stuff. This is mentioned in the Bible, and in the times, this is mentioned in the Bible and mentioned in Enoch, and even in the Jewish customs. And during that time, they would reference Enoch. So this was common stuff when the days of when Jesus walked, the knowledge of this stuff. So read up on this stuff, guys. But the Rothschilds, they that's the mayor of Felicity, California. So what God was showing is that they kill kids above and below the earth. So right out here on Yuma, it's 15 miles away. It's, I don't know, 5 miles away, 10 miles away from Algodones, which is a border town. So man, guys, look into this stuff, because this is the thing. These are the visions that God is revealing to share to you guys, to see the mapping, to show you the mapping of the battle plan. And like I said, the battle plan is equip as believers to do signs and wonders, to practice with the Holy Spirit power. So when the time comes, they will be the power. When the power of judgment is released, they're going to be adequate in power. They're gonna be knowledgeable enough to use it, and you're gonna go against the enemy. You're gonna go against die-hard Luciferian New World Order guys. It's the reality, guys, and you're gonna be walking in power, and you're gonna be helping me get these kids out, and that's the reality. You guys are gonna be helping me get these kids out, and they're everywhere, in so many towns, and so many things, and in so many places. There's a lot to this, guys. A lot to this. So we'll stop it here. This was after. I get a little sidetracked because I just keep repeating stuff, and there's a lot to this, guys. But you'll keep it up. So this is after the judges, the courtroom incident. Okay, so we'll make another one soon. Thanks, guys. Bye.